Hello everyone, I'm Fel Arias, and this is a video I wasn't actually expecting to get out this week. But here's hoping. So, I wanted to go over the Superman movie, because I just watched it today. And I'm going to try to be as spoiler free as possible, because I am shocked. Honestly shocked. After disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, I didn't expect anything from this movie. The trailer gave me an itty teeny tiny sliver of hope. In the end, I watched it because I wanted to see Crypto. That is what got me in the theater seat. And to tell you how hard it is to get me in the theater seat, the last movie I saw in theaters was Wolverine and Deadpool. I don't go to the theater very often. Today, however, it was very strange because I just felt the need to go and watch Superman. Now, a lot of previous Superman movies I've had problems with due to the lack of proper characterization of Superman, because it feels like they took a different character and just slapped Superman's name on them, considering how the character acts, behaves, all the nitty-gritty and dark and depressing and stuff like that. It just doesn't mesh well with Superman to me. Are there Superman stories that are dark and depressing? Yeah, of course. There are also side stories, alternate universes, all of that, Red Sun, Frank Miller, all of that stuff. I believe, like, All-Star Superman also is a bit depressing, if I'm remembering right. But in the end, I had 0 hopes for this movie because not only that, I'm suffering from, like, superhero fatigue. So, am I still going to watch the Marvel movies? Yeah, but I'm gonna wait for them to get on Disney Plus. I'm not going to go into a theater for them. Like, Deadpool and Wolverine was special because it was Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm talking about the main Marvel Cinematic Universe because it has just been exhausting, mediocre, and subpar for so long. Ugh. Not only that, but, like, their shows have not been the greatest either. Like, I do love the fact that they are hinting at forming the Young Avengers. I really hope they do because that might overcome my superhero fatigue because I've been looking forward to the Young Avengers for a very long time. But at the same time with them wanting to make it easier to integrate, like, get into the Marvel Cinematic Universe so they're not making everything interconnected anymore, that might make my superhero fatigue worse. Because granted, it didn't start incredibly interwoven before, so if they go more back to like they had it in maybe phase 2, phase 3, that might not be so bad, but I'm not sure how they're going to pull it off without it feeling super jarring for those of us who have been here since the beginning. Because I used to go to every, like, Marvel movie release night. I think up through not season, but, phase 4, possibly. But no matter how much I love Anthony Mackie or Sebastian Stan or any of them, I'm just not excited about seeing their movies anymore. I'm not. I hate to say it, but it has kind of become less of an event and more of a, "Oh, another one came out." Kinda like how all of the live action remakes have been making me feel. So for those of you who have been feeling like me, I have some relieving news for you. This superhero movie, Superman, the one that came out today, is good. Like, not even kidding, I'm probably gonna go see it again in theaters, and I hardly go back to theaters a second time to see a movie. I think the last time I did that was with the Spider-Verse. So, not even the Spider-Verse 2, that was with the Spider-Verse 1. So, this Superman movie made me feel all the good Superman feels. Because Superman's not even my favorite character is Nightwing, so a little bit obsessed with him. for those of you who know me on social media and stuff. But it is definitely I wouldn't say it's a full departure from the superhero genre, but it's more classic. And it's not just more classic, it is refreshing in the fact that they don't care if they let Superman be Superman. He already has a kind of tragic backstory with his entire planet exploding. He doesn't need extra tragedy and extra depression. He doesn't need to be a fisherman who's trying to find his spot in the world and all that bullshit. He doesn't need to do that. He just doesn't. He's Superman. Ugh, let him be Superman, please. There's a reason Superman is so popular, and it's not because he acts like Batman. In fact, him and Batman work so well together because one of them is super depressing and the other is a happy ray of sunshine. All right? That's why they work so well together. They're the perfect buddy cop duo. So, this movie was great. I'm going to make some really bad, compliments here, but Mr. Terrific was terrific. Hawkgirl was badass. Lois Lane was a boss-ass bitch, and I love her so much. Jimmy Olsen was Jimmy Olsen, and Guy Gardner was well, I mean, if you like Guy Gardner, you're not gonna be disappointed. If you don't like Guy Gardner, well, you're also not going to be disappointed. You might be disappointed in the fact that he's more blonde than Strawberry Blonde, but, I mean, that's the only nitpick I really have about the Justice Guild. It's the comedy points hit, the fact that there are enough breadcrumbs throughout the movie that people can piece together what's happening and what is going to happen is incredibly, nice. Like, so many movies want to keep you blindsided and keep everything a surprise. It's refreshing to have a movie that's like, "Oh, hey, if you know about the comics, you might see this coming," and stuff like that. And again, I'm being incredibly vague as I can because I don't wanna spoil anything. But if you enjoy movies where they put stuff for you to figure out ahead of time, you're going to like this movie. If you like little nods to comic book fans, you're going to like this movie. If you like Superman being Superman, you're gonna like this movie. If you dislike the prior Supermans, but still are hopeful that Superman could be a good person, you're gonna like this movie. It is just insanely good. Does it hold up as a movie in general? I think so. Like, you could go into this movie not knowing anything about Superman and still get through most of it with very few questions. Like, you don't need to know all of these characters exactly, they kind of have, little small introductions and stuff like that. Um, so, yeah. And it's not an origin story, thank God. Oh my god, I'm so tired of Superman origin stories and Spider-Man origin stories and Batman origin stories and ugh. I'm sorry, but if you don't know Superman's origin story, you have been living under a rock or you have absolutely no connection to comic books or nerds whatsoever. And you're probably not watching this video. I can confidently say you're probably not watching this video if you don't know who Superman is. So as I said, I wanna keep this, spoiler free. I loved the movie, and I listed, some of the reasons why I dislike the prior movies and stuff to help alleviate worries and stuff of those who might be going into this movie or those who might have been on the fence about going to see this movie. I will say if you are super hypersensitive to current climates of the world, political climates of the world, This might touch on some sensitive topics or some topics that are similar. So maybe make sure you're in a good headspace before seeing this movie. I will say it is a Superman movie. It ends like a Superman movie should, right? So you don't have to worry about that. It is a Superman movie. This is a motherfucking Superman movie. I can't not emphasize that enough because we have never gotten a live action Superman movie before. Ugh, so excited. Oh man, I have been recording and re-recording and trying to get this right because I'm just so giddy and happy and everything, and I wanna talk about this movie so much. Probably going to have a spoiler-filled video up later, but for now, I wanted to get my general spoiler-free reaction out there, and my spoiler-free reaction is, I cannot wait to see if they make more. I want to see more, alright? I want to see more of this universe that they've built inside this one movie. This kind of makes me feel nostalgic for Iron Man 1 again. This kind of makes me feel nostalgic for the animated series that came out in the early 2000s, late 90s for Superman, like Batman and the Justice League. It makes me very hopeful for future live action DC movies because honestly, DC movies have been so disappointing. I have mentioned how Marvel movies have been a disappointment lately, but DC movies, oh my goodness. Like, even as just general movies, the only thing that makes them watchable is the actors. And honestly, I'm not going to watch it for the actor more than once. That's why I've only seen Aquaman once because it's not worth it for me to see it again. And I've seen Wonder Woman multiple times, no matter how much I disagree with the final fight and how lazy the writing was for it. But I digress. I I can't think of a single point of this Superman movie where I felt disappointed. Now, could I nitpick stuff and like little things about it here and there? Yeah, I definitely could. I could purposely find stuff wrong with it if I wanted to. I might do that later. But the thing is no matter what I find wrong with it, no matter my nitpicks and everything, I enjoyed this movie. Okay? I thought it was a fantastic Superman movie. It gave me everything I've wanted from a Superman movie and more. So, if that's what you've been waiting for, and if you've been on the fence about seeing it, go see it. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see about putting up another video about it later, maybe after the second time I watch it. Anyways, bye-bye.